Trump and his team could at this point teach a masterclass in how to not handle a crisis of their own making. The public has taken notice, and even Republicans smell a cover-up and are calling out the administration.
It's the logic is typical Donald Trumpian, right? He created an expectation of X, and now you think, oh, I'm only paying $2 billion instead of 10.
That's right. But it's incredible self-dealing. And let's not kid ourselves. The people they want to give this money to will have a direct line. I've heard people say, let's flood them with demands for restitution. They're not going to pay any attention to those of us outside of their inner circle.
Yes.
They know exactly who this money is going to go to. It's probably going to be Donald for the most part. And this is the thing. I mean, this fits right into Donald's psychopathologies. He's always needed to convince people, including himself, that he's a winner, right? So therefore, he deserves to win, and he should be allowed to do whatever it takes in order for him to win, including cheating by rigging a system in his favor. Much deeper than that, and this is the problem, Donald knows that he's not a winner, and he is incapable of winning without cheating. What is mind-blowing is the long line of people who continue to be willing to engage in the most abject sycophancy and corruption in order to help him. And that's why we have to stop seeing him as the main problem,
right, and
look at the system, and particularly the Republican Party and the corrupt supermajority in the Supreme Court.
Because the redistricting you're talking about, these are people who Donald Trump calls, and then they do his bidding. They tried not to in Indiana, and then he primaried them. But people are going to have to just stand up for what they believe in, and they, particularly Republicans, have got to not just stand up once he's tried to take them out in a primary.
And we'll have that over with soon. It'll be over with soon, and you're going to see numbers like you've never seen, both on the upside and also in terms of costs. You're going to see costs go down, but you know, the Democrats are the ones that caused all the costs. And they were the ones that caused. When I took over, they caused, I mean, the prices were through the roof. I told you before, the inflation was the highest ever. The costs were high. And think of it, they'd constantly come out, the cost. They would constantly come out with the word affordability. I said, they're the ones that caused the problem. I'm in the office 2 days. I mean, they are the greatest bullshit artists, ready? I'm in the office 2 days. And the costs have gone through the roof under 4 years of Sleepy Joe or Crooked Joe or both, Biden, right? And I hear these Democrats from all over the place going, affordability. They're the ones that caused it. I didn't cause it. Remember the eggs? My first news conference, 2 or 3 days in, they said, what are you going to do? These people, these corrupt press, they're corrupt. They're corrupt. They know it. They're corrupt. They're totally corrupt.
I'm so tired of being subjected on a daily basis to the meanness and
negativity.
Yes, thank you. Because I'm positive that there's too much negativity. Thank you, Chris. Yes. Speaking of which, oh God, this autopsy. Okay. This is what I was afraid of with the Democratic autopsy, is that first of all, someone said now we need like a malpractice lawyer for whoever wrote this thing. Because
who is in charge of
now
hiring?
You see why they didn't release it, because it's kind of crap.
It was a crap result. A lot of stuff wasn't examined that should have been examined.
Right.
Who hired this guy?
Yeah.
Is this Ken Martin?
I don't know.
I'm not the biggest fan of Ken Martin anyway, but if he was in charge of hiring this guy who did the autopsy.
I just did former chair Jimmy Harrison's podcast, and I remain unabashed fan of Jamie Harrison.
I thought Jamie Harrison was a great head of the DNC. I'm not so sure about Ken Martin.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is because you cannot divorce the media. There's so many, Lance said, Biden, $1.7 trillion infrastructure investment, Trump, $1.7 billion failed insurrection fee. If someone tells me both sides are the same ever again, I'm going to straight up slap them. I mean, you cannot divorce the main. Look at Trump falling asleep every single day on camera, and how they covered Biden. I mean, I'm just saying it's a whole big picture. And I think we have had so many wins, and we have such momentum. And you look at any poll, Chris, and you look at what a complete show the Republican Party is right now. There's part of me that doesn't want to just keep looking backward and having this same circular firing squad. I mean, and Jennifer said, reminder, despite everything that was clearly working against her, Kamala Harris still received the second highest number of votes of any Democratic presidential candidate in history, more than Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And I think that gets lost. Again, we can keep having the same argument. Should we have stuck behind Joe Biden? Could we have gotten across the finish line? Should he have gotten out earlier? I mean, obviously, we all know what happened. That she only had a 100-day runway, 107 days, something like that. But, can I just say, too, I was reminded, Yvette Nicole Brown, who I love, was talking about the L.A. mayor's race, and it just... She said, so she was reposting Gregory, who said the fire was a historic event with gale force winds and water pressure issues in Pacific Palisades no one knew of previously. This is not the mayor's fault. This is not the fire department not having enough firefighters. Please tell me how 100 more firefighters was going to stop this. And first of all, if you don't live here, shut up. You saw a picture. It was a fire hurricane. I've never seen anything like it. It was literally 100-mile-an-hour winds. They couldn't send the planes up like you ordinarily do. So Yvette Nicole Brown said they've continued to blame Karen Bass for a once-in-a-lifetime perfect storm of calamity. It was called arson and gale force wind. It was caused by, arson and gale force winds. She caused neither. She was in Ghana when it happened because President Biden asked her to go in his place. As soon as she got word, she was on a military plane heading back to her hometown, handling the tragedy from that plane. Also, she's only the mayor of L.A. They blamed the black woman for every fire that's ever burned. We talked to Mayor Bass yesterday, and it's been all over social media about there we go again, the Simi Valley's not in L.A. Again, shut up if you don't live in L.A. Simi Valley is not part of...
It's a different county.
Okay. And one last one on that. Greg said that was the one that set up Nicole Brown. But anyway, I look at this polling, and again... Let's not snatch a defeat from the jaws of victory. New generic ballot 2026 among Jewish voters, Democratic 67%, Republican 27%. So, when we talk about they didn't address the Gaza issue in there. Again, and you've said this over and over, Chris, it doesn't make you anti-Semitic to think Netanyahu is a war criminal. It does not make you anti-Jewish.
Netanyahu is the head of
Right.
of a government of a country.
Right.
Those are
Right.
warmongering policies. They are not Jewish policies.
Right.
So,
and that's what I'm saying. It bears out in here.
Yes.
This one, Fox News poll, we were talking about this yesterday, Chris. 71% disapprove of the way Trump's handling the economy. Fox News poll, only 54% of non-MAGA Republicans support Trump, according to the latest Fox poll. American Research Group has Trump at 31% approval and 64% disapproval. Last May, he was at 41% approval, 55% disapproval. He went from minus 14 to minus 33 in 1 year. His once loyal base is shrinking. That's what we were saying is Massey, all that stuff, I see that as good news for us. You're just getting farther and farther right.
Those are Fetterman type numbers.
Yeah. Who is this? Breaking. Our majority is melting down before our eyes, one GOP senator allegedly texted reporters amid growing Republican infighting. Many Republicans reportedly believe Trump's push to purge lawmakers seen as not loyal is creating more political free agents within the party. Check this one out. Texas poll. Are you ready? Among Latino voters. Tallarico 57%, Paxton 25%. Let me give you a heads up on that. They're going to do everything they can to suppress the Latino vote in Texas. Because, again, they're seeing these same polls. But how many times can we say they are totally losing? The Democratic Party, not perfect. Nobody is. It's made up of human beings. But, what was my point? I lost it. I'm sorry. I'm in pre-vacation mode, as you know.
Yeah, that chair is going to spin hard.
Okay, I'm going to be AI for the last segment. That won't even be me. I'll just be woo.
Oh, that's good practice for when we replace you.
Oh, okay. Huh? Okay, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, it's obviously Democratic Party. We're made up of human beings. Of course, we're not perfect either. But oh my God, the Republican Party they have totally lost. Not are losing, Chris. They have lost the generational and demographic battle. That's why this is like the last gasp of a dying party. Hold please. Yes, final Chatham tracking poll. This is California. Almost 1 in 5 still undecided. Bianco, Porter, and Mahan have wilted. Steyer looks likely cooked as well. Why is he losing? This is from Stuart Stevens. Because people don't want a billionaire. He has zero track record. People don't believe he'll do what he says. He's not at all a have a beer kind of with him kind of guy. It looks like a vanity campaign. And he said those Steyer endorsements from the progressive left, so they're self-inflicted wounds by his endorsers. I mean, Robert Reich has taken a flaming like I've never seen on what you call it. But once again, he basically Becerra and Hilton are tied. So, to go like, oh, it doesn't matter who you vote for. I mean, they're tied, or Becerra is ahead. Depends on what poll you're looking at. They're either tied or Becerra's up by 1. But yeah, hang on. Hold please. I have a lot of pre-vacation cleaning to do. Yes, I believe I agree with R. Mendez. He said, unite for Becerra or get ready to say hello to Governor Hilton. So I think, the whole country is watching what's happening here in California. And it's reminding me with all this infighting over the autopsy. It's like, let's move forward and not, because again, we can have these fights forever and everybody's going to have a different opinion anyway. All right, here's one thing by the way, Harry Enton. This is
Ensign.
good. This is
Ensign. He's
Ensign.
not related to Susan Anton.
I want him to be related to Susan Anton.
He's related to Neil Sedaka, not Susan Anton.
That is so fun. Can you find some Neil Sedaka?
It's breaking up is hard to do.
Yeah, we could play that every time, Darian. Oh, but you know why?
Why?
Because America's breaking up with Donald Trump.
There you go.
And it's not hard to do. Okay, here he is.
Minus 50 points on Trump's net approval rating among voters who did not, in fact, cast a ballot in 2024. That is, you don't have to be a mathematical genius, an over 50-point move against the President of the United States. It's the economy. Again, we are just talking about numbers that are falling through the basement because the reason why Democrats are doing so well on the generic ballot is in large part among those who stayed home in 2024. Many of them will vote in 2026, and they won't be voting Republican. They'll be voting Democratic because truth is, they're just pissed off at the President of the United States.
Yes, and Sharon, I'm with you. She said, let's not have a Republican governor for California. Please drop the egos and drop out low-polling candidates. Becerra is highly qualified, and he can beat Hilton. You know who we're talking about. Antonio Villaraigosa, and among others. I'm just saying that those 1, 2, 3, 5 percentage points could make a difference. And
I've never liked Villaraigosa. I hated him when he was mayor of Los Angeles.
I don't hate him. I've run into him.
I know you've run into him. I haven't. I can hate him. I'm allowed to hate him.
He'll go to the opening of an envelope, let me just say. But obviously I will too, because I ran into him.
And then he won't shut up about it.
No, he's very nice in person. It's just... okay. I loved Katie Porter, again, when she was in Congress. As we said, Chris, I'd be happy with any Democratic governor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to use my airwaves to beat up on Democrats. And that's what I think people are upset about is, the amount of money being spent to beat up on Becerra.
Well,
and Katie Porter's doing that, and she's at like 4%. What is she at, 4%?
Well, then I apologize.
4%?
I apologize for just now beating up on Villaraigosa.
Thank you. Well, I'm not sure. The 1%, really. Okay. All right. He was...
What? He was what? Say
Stephanie
it.
Miller show. No, but people are making a point. We were saying, what? Is it 61 candidates? Oh, for God's sakes. That's why people are looking like, oh my God, California, get your together.
We
There's
always
like
have
60,
that. We always
right,
have
but
that.
Mahan, Porter, Villaraigosa, they
Maybe
need to
we should tighten up the...
They need to drop out and loudly endorse Becerra, in my opinion.
We need to tighten up the rules that we have for running for governor, I
this
think.
jungle primary stuff is...
Well, I mean... We shouldn't have 61 people running for governor.
Yeah,
that takes up too much of the state's resources.
Yes. Who said, Christopher, of attending their son's wedding? He'd like me to go. I'm going to try. I said, it's not good timing for me. I have a thing called Iran and some other things. He's a person I've known for a long time.
Neil Sedaka.
That's a good guess. No. That's Trump about his son's wedding. He's a person he's known a long time.
Oh, well,
Yeah. Okay.
He wasn't there at the birth. We know that for
He's
sure.
not a coffee boy, I guess. Okay. Wow. So here is Max at what is UNFTR? I forget.
You sent this to me. I have no idea
I don't
who this
know.
guy.
I just like it goes to Glenn Kirshner's point.
I researched who it is, and it might be AI.
I don't care. Here it is.
All right.
In just the past couple of weeks, there have been 3 separate instances of such unfathomable corruption that any other normal presidency wouldn't have survived a single one of them, let alone all three. This corruption is so profound that historians will be writing books about this period for decades to come.
We love you, AI Max. It was just because it was the point of what Glenn Kirshner wrote.
Sure.
So it was just echoing what Glenn said.
You could have said that, and you would have been a real person saying that.
I don't care. I'm lazy, and I'm going to use AI. Okay.
Oh, really?
Just kidding.
Should I tell Ron?
Just kidding. No, I need a job.